Hey everybody, today I have decided to talk about conflict management. Conflict management, it's a broad scope. We need to start implementing this in our workplaces. Um, we can also start at home for some of you. I wanted to particularly address bosses of any business. We have a lot of successful businesses, yes, we do, out there that are thriving, apparently thriving for some. But we also have a workforce who deserves to be heard on a positive note. And what I mean by that is not the perpetual open door policy that a lot of companies have in their written policies, their doctrine. We need to actually implement that. I am not in HR, but I have listened and been a part of HR issues. And the bottom line is, and this is what I hear as well from HR experts online, um, and not just online, personally, I've spoken to a few. They don't care about the worker is the bottom line. It's the way we feel. So we go in, we discuss our HR problems. The HR person sits there and listens, but they're documenting. And at the end of the day, if the problem is not resolved and you go back, you're maybe a second or third time. I'm not sure at what point you become labeled, but you become labeled, and it becomes evident that HR is not your friend. They're not your friend. Yes, a lot of us should know that, but when you're in a situation of a negative, toxic situation, you sometimes think more with your emotions than you do your heart. Your emotions are, oh my, why are they bothering me? I'm not doing anything wrong, and your heart is like breaking because you're in your mind is like, why is this going on? I'm such a good person. I'm a good worker, but you find it's that at the end of the day, that didn't matter. So I saw this HR expert online, the YouTuber, and she was saying that you should basically try to do what you have to do to leave and the company, to leave if you're being bullied or harassed or something's going on. Well, and she said, document. And I've been a part of documenting things that at the end of the day were of no use because you didn't have one person that would stand up for you. So, um, and I tend to now lean toward, and I didn't understand it until I started listening and considering what the experts were saying, the advice they were giving. Find a plan to leave if you're being put in a toxic situation or hostile situation, and a plan by where you're documenting for your future reference, making sure to really look inward and focus on yourself. Look for other companies who offer a better environment. And of course, you never know till you get into that company. But what I mean by that is have a plan A, B, C. If you want to go back to school, start looking into grants or loans if you want. I'm not sure. Start talking to people of varying ages, various ethnic groups. Get yourself out there, think out of the box, and try to maintain some sense of, I want to say, some sense of self. Know who you are. If you know you're a good person, hold on to that. Hold on to that. It can easily turn into you projecting your feelings of frustration and that being misconstrued to others. Um, you don't want to hit, you don't want to curse, you don't want to do any of that. You want to at all times maintain in your mind, okay, I'm a good person, I'm a good worker, and I'm not going to allow this person to bring me down. And it is hard to have to leave a place, whether you've been there 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 10 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever the case may be. It is very difficult. So what I say is work on you. You're better than that. You don't deserve that. There are others, there's someone somewhere who will be glad to have an employee like you. For those companies who continue their policies, their alleged open door policies, and still allow mistreatment of others, um, let it go. If enough people start leaving because of the treatment, maybe they'll get the message, and maybe they never will. But I'm telling you, if you have any kind of belief in anything spiritual, religious, you have to believe that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. I've worked a myriad of jobs, um, and my worth was not wanted, was not acknowledged, or maybe was acknowledged, but I didn't fit their idea of the person who should hold a certain position, regardless of what my past work history was. And it kept building to where I got it. Someone, me, just this is not talking about me. I wasn't the picture of what the ideal of what that person in that position should be, whether it be because my looks, my skin color, my physique, my voice, my height. I don't know. It could be anything. Whatever the idea of that person in that position was, I didn't fit it. So when I got the "oh, we'll call you next week," when I got that comment, I knew, okay, this isn't going to happen. And I've also taken a chance on jobs. I quit one job in particular that at the time was very good. My boss's boss was great. My boss turned out to be great. And I had to leave. And that was because of personal reasons. And I had to latch on to a job that I really didn't want to take. But when I tried to move up there, I didn't fit their idea of what that person should be, evidently. And I was also at one point told that my past work experience meant nothing. And, I cried about it. I cried several times. Sometimes you do have to do that to release that frustration. And it was daunting to be told that your past achievements mean nothing compared to someone we like. They don't have all those achievements, but we like that person. We don't like you, or we don't know you. We don't care what your achievements are. We're not going to give you a chance because we don't like you. We don't know you, but we know this person and we like this person. So we're going to give them a chance. They don't have any of your credentials, any of your background, but we like this person. So I had to, and it was a lot. I had to begin dealing with the fact that I'm getting older, but I still feel great. I feel good. I feel great. I still want to learn. I am still learning. I still want to do things, but I am being cut off at the pass because I don't fit a certain idea. So that being said, I just want you to know that I have gone through a myriad of instances where I know without the strong faith that I have within, without believing that this too shall pass, I probably would have crumbled a long time ago. And with work is one thing. That's hard because that's your livelihood as an adult. That's how you maintain that's how you pay your rent, all your bills. You need a job. But I go back and think, wow, when I was a child and a teenager, I had instances where I was bullied, and wow, I had to maintain that. I had to pray. I prayed a lot in my youth. And I prayed about, sometimes I would say, oh, why is this happening to me? But I never once gave up the hope, the faith, the belief that I am somebody. And I remember a relative telling me, no one will ever like you. And I believe they said it it was their way of saying it in a sarcastic manner, but I never forgot that. And I fought against those thoughts. I fought against those thoughts. I began speaking up for myself. And there were other things that occurred, but I began speaking up for myself, regardless of who said I was crazy or who didn't like me or who didn't see me in that role or at this particular place. And it carried over into my adulthood. When I was told I wasn't good enough, even in relationships, when I was told when I was, or it was inferred I wasn't enough, I always held that sense of survival, that sense of I'm gonna be who I am. You can't tell me who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am, and I'm not gonna allow you to tell me who I am. And I've stumbled along the way to find my way, but I found my way. I began to look into myself and try to figure out, what do I want to do? What is my purpose? Um, and that led me to self actualization, acceptance, and forgiveness of myself. I forgave myself for allowing people to um, cause me to back away, run away from a situation, back down from a situation. Um, I forgave myself for that because I don't want to always be the one out there. Oh man, I wish I had done this. Wow, I wish I had done that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. All that is no good. I started looking more at, wow, thank you God for bringing me through that. You know, if I get through this, more positivity. If I get through this, more positivity. But I don't want you, if you're going through anything like that in your personal life or at work, or whatever it may be, don't give up. Keep going. You matter. You are somebody. And you're going to make mistakes. You're going to stumble. Here's the thing, you're human. You're human, just like all those others pointing fingers. And again, that little phrase, for every finger pointing at you, there's someone pointing back. For every finger pointed, there's a finger pointing back at them, if not more fingers. So you have to find your place, your purpose. It helps to not focus on whose fault something was, which like I said, we're human. You're human. You're probably gonna say that or think that. But it's more important that you focus on you. You set your goals, your dreams, your goals. Talk to people, communicate, which is a big thing for me. There are a lot of people who are just, I don't have time for that. Oh my God, you're talking longer than 2 minutes. Sometimes that longer than 2 minutes might help that person somehow, but they don't realize that. And sometimes they're going through something. And I had to learn this. Ask them, how are you doing today? And sometimes that may work, sometimes it won't. But I genuinely mean, when I ask it, I genuinely care about the answer they give. But sometimes some people are so used to tearing you down. And when you do ask them how they're doing, they don't receive that well. They somehow think you're being sarcastic. And even with that, you have to let it go. Okay, I asked, I cared, I asked. They don't want to talk about it. I'm over it. So work on you. Figure out if you don't want to go back to school, college, whatever it is. If you don't want to do that, study at home. You can study online if you don't want to do that. Physically go back to school. I meant when I said if you don't want to go back to school. If you don't want to do that, find some type of a hobby you like and focus on building that. But then again, like I said, talk to people, think outside the box, go to that place you didn't think you'd want to go, if it's safe, of course. Um, Talk to those people that you may have felt uncomfortable about talking to before. And, I ask for help, ask a question, ask. If you need something from someone, ask. Some advice, great advice that was given to me by a former undergrad professor that I had. He told me, you know, ask people for help if you need it, or ask the question. And if it comes to a point of asking for help, all the person can do is, all they can say is no. You still have your life, you can still move on. If there's a question you want to ask about something else, the person should say they don't know. But if they say they don't know or they don't have time, you know what? In the age of technology, there are all types of venues for you to do your research on. Find out yourself. I used to tell my children, when they read a book, that sometimes they would ask me when they were younger, what's going to happen? What happened there? What happened there? What's going to happen? And I would just tell them, read it. The answer's in there. Read it. Find it. Find it for yourself. It's not that I didn't feel like helping them or I didn't want to help them. That was my way of embedding in them the ability to find the answer yourself, because sometimes you'll get a million no's or a million I don't knows, and you have to keep going because the answer is there. You just have to look for it. And I'm not a big I'm an expert on the Bible. I'm not a theologian, but you seek what you should seek, and what is it? Seek and ye shall find. Motivate yourself. Make sure you get some type of sunshine every day, even if you just open the window for a moment, or for a few minutes, or step outside for a few minutes, or step in your backyard for a few minutes. Get some sunshine, do a few stretches, um, find a verse in the Bible you like and say it every day to yourself, or a couple of verses, say to yourself. Watch that television show that motivated you at one point. Listen to a song that motivated you at one point. But whatever you do, you have to be a part of the resolution. You have to find a way within yourself to find yourself and find your purpose. And don't and again, I understand it's not easy, because I speak from experience. It is not easy. Don't allow other people to destroy your dreams, your goals, whatever you wanted to accomplish. You might not be able to accomplish it where you're at the moment, but keep going. Just keep going. And maybe you'll build your own company. Maybe you'll find your own company. Maybe you'll find that right partnership out there. Maybe that friend that was always so negative, maybe you'll have the courage to one day just talk to them. Hey, why are you always so negative? Or why do you say this when I say that? They'll either tell you, or they will avoid you. So you just continue, you go on that trip, you join that travel group, you join that group chat, you do things for you. Okay. And eventually you'll start feeling a lot better, and the healing will take place within you, because the only person you can work on is you. Not the HR, the only person you can work on is you, because that to me is a side note. That to me is a way of deflection off of the issue. Yes, it's about you. Of course, it's about you. But at the workplace, it involves other people that are causing you to even be there. At home, it's others in situations that are causing you to be in the situation. Or sometimes it's you just have a situation, a condition, whether it be neurological or uh, emotional. It could be anything. And then you seek other expert help. You seek, psychologists, therapists, social workers, counselors, guidance counselors, psychiatrists, whomever. You seek out that person who's always been able to motivate you, or you seek out someone who can calm the moment for you to give you time to think. You find your happy place. You go read a book. Like I said, you go read music. You go out in your yard and you sit. You may find the peace and surrealness of your front porch. You may be able to utilize that at some point. Um, do things safely. If it's a safe environment to do so, then so be it. But find somewhere, a library, in a corner of a library. Those libraries come in handy. They got me. Hey, work wonders in high school and college, the library. Um, if you're a gamer, if gaming helps you relax, hey, so be it. Reading a book, going to a movie, go to a thrift store. Hey, those are great. People put some people put thrift stores down, but hey, you can find some real deals in some thrift stores, okay? Because remember, people are donating. All socioeconomic backgrounds are donating, so you never know what you're going to come across. Go to a flea market, go to discount store, and if you have that type of disposable income, hey, go to that expensive high end store. Um, go grocery shop, whatever. Go to a zoo. Go wherever, a museum, um, anything, anywhere that is a peaceful place that'll bring about a sense of peace. And I know there's a lot going on in the news nowadays, and you never know what's going to happen, but we're certainly not going to sit around fearful to go anywhere because we never know what's going to happen. Oh, that might happen there. Please don't live your life like that. And like someone used to say, hey, if it's your time to go, you're going to go. It doesn't matter where you are. There have been some really out of the blue freakish things that have happened to people. So I made up my mind a long time ago I wasn't going to live in fear. Some places, obviously, you're not going to go. I mean, come on now. But if it seems to be a safe place or somewhere of peace, go. Just go and think. Research. Find something you want to do. What makes you happy? Is it making music? Is it teaching? Is it helping? Have you ever tried to help someone else? How does that feel when you're actually helping someone else? Getting your mind off of you for a minute. How does that feel? And if you're just a narcissist and don't give a rip and you just don't care about anyone else, but you're feeling down, hey, Narcy, you know what? You just get on that computer and research your heart out about things you and you yourself, you alone, love to do. But there's something for everybody out there. There's a place for everyone. And the idea that if you don't look like me, or if you don't sound like me, or if you don't do exactly what I do, then you're not good enough is is nonsense. It's a nonsensical way of thinking, because it takes all kinds to run the world. It takes all kinds. So, with that being said, do you, and believe in yourself. Keep going. There are people out there who do truly understand what you're going through and want to help in some way, some small way, even if it's to point you in the direction of someone else who can help. Maybe they can't help themselves, but they can point you in the direction of someone who can. Keep going. Listen out, observe your environments, home or work, whichever case may be, and do you. Don't continue to wallow and blame, 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 blame. Point a finger. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Because at some point, it is going to be your fault because you stayed in it. You didn't seek help. You didn't speak up. You didn't advocate for yourself. So yeah, at some point, it eventually is going to be your fault. And some people are, and understandably so, not going to really want to hear it if you're not even trying to do anything to help yourself. Now, as far as those who are defenseless, certain special needs, young children, some of us who know ought to be instilling in the children and I'm not talking about special needs, even though they have there's certain special needs where there's a way to help them. But you have to start instilling the belief that they matter. There's a little, if you, again, I stopped listening to all the news because it had become quite stressful, but I do listen. I get blurbs on my phone in this day of technology, and I am up on some things. And there have been some very saddening things going on. So maybe you can start a chat group about some of those things going on, you know? Um, Pick one. Right now, I believe there are at least three different issues that I'm thinking, three or four different issues, maybe even five that I'm thinking of right now that maybe you can start a chat group on. Um, I don't want to talk about it in this particular video, but there are some things I know if you want to start a chat group on, go for it. Start a thread on Instagram, start a thread on TikTok, start a thread on, do a YouTube channel on some of the issues. There are a lot of people doing it. But I mean, I'm talking about the issues. And then, you can start your journey towards healing. But find something, find yourself.